And we are recording. Hey folks, Chris with Life and Real Estate here. I know it has been quite some time, huh? There's been a lot that's been going on in my personal life, so I'm going to kind of catch you up on what's going on so that you all know why I've been away for so long. So, as some of you may know, I was going through a divorce. It was not a fun experience. It was kind of drawn out longer than I think either one of us wanted to, and it was just a whole lot of not fun times, right? And that also involved me having to pack up a lot of stuff, and, well, I have to move and find a new place to go and all of that fun. So here I am in my temporary new place. So you may notice things are a little different than what you're used to seeing. Um, and overall, I have to say, I'm a little relieved. The stress levels are down, and I'm ready to get back into the whole video making thing. And connect back with you guys who did watch my content and have been wondering what's going on, where I'm at, and all that. So here we are. So I think we're gonna do a little light lesson today, just to kind of get back into the swing of things here. So I think the lesson I'm gonna go with today is probably gonna be when you're starting your new adventure, your new business. Probably more focusing on the business side of things. Because it's something that I'm continuing to push through and get through now, and we're going to call that beating the obscurity. I know we probably have talked about this before, but it's always nice to have a good refresher, right? So the biggest thing and challenge that a lot of new businesses have is fighting obscurity. And what does that mean? Well, obscurity is that nobody knows who you are, nobody knows what you do. You could be the greatest flower arranger or real estate agent or investment person in the entirety of your state, but if people don't know who you are, you have to fight through that obscurity to get them to know you, right? So that's what we're going to talk about today. What are some things you can do to fight the obscurity? One of the obvious things is, well, having professional pages, like a professional Google business page, a professional Facebook page, creating content that's relevant to what you do that really reaches that audience that you're looking to reach. And that's all free stuff you can do. You don't have to pay for any of that, which is kind of nice, especially if you're just starting out. But if you want to really bump it up a little bit, this more relates specific to Facebook, you can promote your page for, like $1 a day. And you can target the area where you really want to hammer in on people to see, that you exist. And that can start help getting the ball rolling. I mean, this isn't going to be an overnight, you're a sensation thing. That just doesn't happen that way. So you have to have some patience while it starts to build that momentum. And then, there's always the word of mouth thing that you can do too. That's definitely helpful. Everybody in your, one of these things right here, you have a bunch of contacts in there, right? And if those people that you talk to on a regular basis don't even know what you're doing or what your purpose is heading towards, then how are you going to convince people you don't know what you're doing and how good you are at it? So it helps to start with what we would call a sphere of influence, and that's people you already know and people you can reach out to that can help spread the word. It's that word of mouth thing that really helps get your business moving, or other things of that nature where you're trying to get recognized, whether it be volunteer projects or things like that. I mean, it can apply to everything but business, and including business. So you got to fight that obscurity, and starting with the people you know is a great way to do that. So don't be afraid to inject it in the conversation, whatever you're doing. This is what I do now, because they still might be thinking of something you did years and years ago, and still think you're doing that now. So if you're doing new stuff and you're not telling them about it, how are they supposed to help spread that word, right? I went from being pretty unknown, right? Because I was relatively new in the real estate business as far as being an agent, but I got my name out there. I started telling people about it. I mean, I didn't think I missed too many opportunities where I could start talking to my friends saying, hey, I do this now. And some of them were surprised. Not everybody pays attention to what you put on Facebook as far as like what your work status is, or that you started this page or whatever the case is. A lot of them don't just pay attention to little stuff like that. So it helps to really be talking to them and having those conversations, because that's how you build those relationships. So who knows? I mean, you could have a friend in your list that know somebody that wants to, at least in my example, wants to buy a property or sell a property. Well, I'm in their mind, so that they, tell that person, well, hey, I know this guy who's doing this now. So, and referrals from folks that is nice, but you also want to attract new business, right? So that's that whole word of mouth thing starts to spread, and then once you get better known, then folks start recognizing the name, or the name of your business, or your name, for example. I have had a couple times with that, where just from these YouTube videos and my postings on Facebook, that some folks in my area have recognized me and said, hey, how's it going? It's like, oh, how'd you hear about me? Well, I saw you on Facebook, or I saw you on YouTube. So that's why I do these things, because I'm here to help build my brand and my business and get things moving, in a positive direction for here 2022. I really want to hit the ground running and really explode my business, so that I can do more things that I want to do, like making YouTube videos. So that's probably the big thing I want to get hit home with you, is that you really have to fight the obscurity when you're just starting out on almost anything that you do, especially in business. And if you're not fighting the obscurity, then you're going to remain obscure, and at that point you're probably going to take a lot longer to get where you want to go than it could if you actually really worked at beating that obscurity. So that's my helpful little lesson tip today for your this little welcome back video, or my comeback video, however you want to put it. So that's kind of what I have for you guys today. I hope you find that information helpful. You will see in the card here, you'll see the last video on one side, and you'll see a subscribe button on the other side, and possibly another suggested video, depending on how YouTube likes to do things. So go ahead and give a like, comment, or subscribe. You can also ask some questions in the comment section. I'll be more than happy to answer them. I do answer them personally. You can also reach me on my Facebook or other social media sites. So I want you guys to stay blessed, stay positive, and keep going, and make 2022 your year.